Greetings, my viewer and Pastor Lena. How are you doing? I trust you're well. I am well, and my guest is well. And guess who we are hosting today? We are hosting a coach and a mentor, and he's a lead coach and capacity builder at Lead and Excellence Center. He's also a father, an educator, a mentor, and an author for a book called Parenting for Preteen in the 21st Century. This is a book that you need to get hold of, and this is a speaker that you need to listen to. Yes, you may be asking, how do you know him? He will let you know shortly. But meanwhile, First Lena, I'm so glad that you've logged in. Yes, as I've always told you, abundance is a natural state for you. We have to live in abundance by all means. And today, as I've always told you, for you to really make it and get to where, you need to get a mentor or a coach to show you where you need to walk into, so that you don't get to fall into holes, or you don't get to make the mistakes that others have made. Yes, today we are hosting Kigothomaina, and I'm glad you're logged in. Our speaker, Mr. Kigodho, welcome to Abundance First Rate. The first
Thank you.
are really looking forward to hear from you. Karibu sana. I don't know what I might have missed about you. Let them know.
Well, you have said most of what could be said. Just to mention to our viewers that my name is kigothomaina. I am a father to a preteen who is 12 years old now. And I'm so delighted to be on your show. Mentorship is what I've been doing for the last like 7 or 10 years, thereabout. Mentoring people in the workplaces, mentoring people in schools, organizations. That is what I've been doing. And it is an area that I like very much. It is where my heartbeat is.
Wow.
So with that, I'm the lead coach at Capacity and Excellence Center, and also the author of the book, Parenting Teens in the 21st Century, a book that every parent in this generation needs.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kigodho. I really am happy to host you. And I'm sure some my listener could be asking, Sam, what is this mentorship? What is this coaching? Maybe you can let us know, having done all this coaching for all those years, define for us what this mentorship is.
Well, mentorship, if I was to define it, I would call it is a relationship between two people, one who is more experienced and one who is not as experienced. The one who is more experienced, we call him or her a mentor. The one who is not as experienced, we call them a mentee. So this is a relationship whereby now the more experienced person shares the experiences, knowledge, skills with the person who is less experienced. That's how I would define it.
Wow. What's the difference between now the mentoring and the coaching?
Well, I would say mentorship is more of a lifelong kind of process. Coaching has more to do with a structured kind of learning, whereby the person who is being coached desires to acquire certain skills, and now the coach trains them. For example, when you go to sports, somebody might want to be a marathoner, somebody might want to be a football player. Now they remain under a coach. The coach is specifically teaching them certain skills or competencies in certain areas of performance. So that would be the difference between mentorship and coaching.
Wow. Thank you so much. I believe that is very clear. Mentorship is long term. Coaching, you say it's one like goal oriented. Wow. Mr. Kigodho, now, why do we have to do this mentorship? I mean, what are these benefits for the mentorship?
Now, in a brief, I would start by saying that all human beings are carriers of potential. And when I talk about potential, maybe I would put it this way. When an engineer goes to a waterfall and a layman, they see two different things. The layman just sees water falling from a high place to a low ground. But when an engineer goes to the same place, he's seeing hydroelectric power. He's seeing something which can be harnessed. For example, he's thinking about, if I was to put a turbine here, then we are going to have the power being produced. When a layman sees an orange, they are seeing food. But when a farmer sees the same orange, they are seeing seeds in it. They are seeing something greater which can come out of that orange. So when I talk about mentorship, I'm talking about everyone is carrying some level of potential, but that potential requires some kind of harnessing. That potential needs to be brought out, and that is where now mentorship comes in. It is about helping people to harness the potential that lies in them so that they can become competent in certain areas in life. Yes, so that is in summary, that is the essence of mentorship. Secondly, I would say that mentorship allows somebody to learn from the skills and experiences of those who have gone before them. In other words, when you have heard the saying that there's no need to reinvent the wheel. When you work with a mentor, you are able to see the pitfalls they got into, so you don't have to get into those pitfalls. You are able to learn from the experiences. You are able to see where they did it right. And that is all about mentorship, learning from the experiences of another person.
Wow. Maybe just to ask, well, I might, hey, it is inspiring how we see things very differently. Me, I see a teacher, someone else is seeing potential. You tell me I see a waterfall, I'll be so excited to see the water coming down. Someone else is seeing how they can, create a legacy and maybe just do all that stuff. Wow, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I bet maybe that's why some of us has never, okay, not some of us, most people have not been able to harness their potential because they have lacked a mentor. They have lacked someone to show them the way. Well, not
In,
everyone who knows the way is the way. But I would really want to know, how do you choose this mentor? Or how do you know this is the correct mentor for me?
now, that's a big question, because identifying a mentor has really never been an easy task, because you see, you're trying to identify a person whom has like similar interests with what you have, and that in itself sometimes becomes even a barrier in mentorship, because there is nothing more dangerous than having a mismatch between a mentor and a mentee. You might see a person who is in the field you're interested in. They might be doing well, but maybe they are not interested in mentoring you. So you might try to introduce yourself to them, but they don't have the time for you. They don't have what it takes to transfer the skill to you. And therefore, you're going to find that the mentorship may not even take off. But in a nutshell, I would say, the first thing to do when you're considering a mentor is to get a person who is in the field that you are interested in, a person who is experienced. For example, you might want to get into a certain business, and you might need to look for a person who has been doing that business before. And from there now, you have to introduce yourself to them, or maybe you can get to them through connection, or what we call referrals, or because sometimes there's somebody out there that you admire and you don't have a way of getting to them. You might need to go through a person who knows them, and maybe a friend, maybe connections are in fact, there is a common saying that your network is equal to your net worth. So you need sometimes to be introduced to people, and that is how now you start growing that relationship. Of course, we are saying it is a kind of a lifelong kind of learning. So it's something which grows with time, and it gets better and better with time.
Wow,
Yes.
that's quite insightful. That you all need to dedicate time and effort to be able to identify the person who is going to mentor them.
Yeah.
Well, I hear you. Now, based on the many things that we do in life, there's sometimes you get to challenges. What are these some of the challenges that one can get when they're looking for a mentor or during the mentorship process? I want to assume that it's not always amen, hallelujah. There are times when what are these some of these challenges that one can encounter?
Some of the challenges I have highlighted one. One is, first of all, if you have a mismatch between a mentor and a mentee, whereby the person maybe you thought would mentor you does not have the same energy as you might have. They don't have the same level of eagerness. They don't have to have the same kind of enthusiasm. That brings a mismatch, and it might be a bit frustrating. The second barrier which could occur in mentorship is where the mentor is not very supportive. For example, they may not be having enough time to give you attention. They might not be interested, you know. That in itself it can be a barrier. The other barrier could be false expectations from the side of the mentee. Maybe the mentee comes with the mind that the mentor is going to do so much, and then they realize that the expectations are not being met. You know, a mentee may even be thinking they are going to get financial support from the mentor. They might think the mentor will always have all the time, and then they realize that this guy is so busy, they cannot afford me that kind of time. This person does not have money to lend me to start the business I was thinking about. So that in itself can be a barrier to effective mentorship. The other thing is overdependence of the mentor on the mentee. You know, somebody comes into that mentorship relationship and they think that the mentor is going to be doing everything for them. I may give you an example, maybe in areas like marriage. Sometimes you have people get best couples and they take them as their mentors. And now they might think that every time they have every small argument that that best couple is going to come and intervene. Then they realize this person is not coming to intervene every now and then. The person is allowing them to live their lives. So you see that in itself can be an issue. There's also the area of gender issues. Sometimes maybe a young girl decides to take a man as a mentor. And then they realize with the time, the mentorship is going beyond the boundaries of mentorship. So in itself now, the mentorship relationship changes into something else. In it, and that in itself becomes a big barrier because now the original goal is going to be lost. And we might have other things coming out of that mentorship relationship. And also, there is also what I would call lack of documentation. You know, when you get into a mentorship relationship, you should also be able to monitor whether you are making progress or not. So if you don't take time to document where am I coming from, how far have I come, and where am I expecting to go within this certain period of time, you might realize that you're going around the same mountain over a long time and achieving so little. So that in itself can be a challenge or a barrier to effective mentorship.
Wow, that's quite eye-opening. So not every mentorship is perfect for someone. There's so many challenges. So if I'm not a mentor, I'm a mentee. What would be the best practice for me as a mentee? If I'm looking towards getting connected to this mentor, what would be the best practice for me as a mentee? So that at least I can make this relationship better and lifelong.
Now, if you want to succeed as a mentee, of course, the first thing is to identify the right mentor for you. That is the first step. And once that mentor-mentee relationship is established or initiated, you need to achieve on learning. I mean, you need to focus on learning. Once you get into that relationship, do not let your mind move away from the goal as to why you are there. So if you are there to learn certain skills, if there are certain competencies that you wanted to acquire, focus on those ones. You must remain focused. As we say, focus is follow one course until you succeed in it. That is how I would summarize it. Number two is that own the opportunity. By this, I mean, once you're given that opportunity, do not squander it. Do not let it, sometimes you can get somebody who is very good, a very good mentor. Then they realize that you are not even serious with what you wanted to achieve. And remember, mentors are people who are experienced and they can read behavior from very far. So if they realize that you're also not very consistent, not very serious with time, you don't keep time for appointments and so on, they might decide to drop you. I remember one time I had a lecturer who was supervising my work, and they would frankly tell you, if I tell you to hand in your work next week and you fail to do it, then that is the end of me and you. If you cannot keep to the timelines that we have decided, then it is not possible to continue with that kind of a relationship. So do not squander the opportunity. Number three, if you want to succeed as a mentee, you must let your goals be known to your mentor. Discuss your goals to them. Tell them this is exactly what I want to achieve in the short term. This is what I want to achieve in the long term. Discuss with them, and out of that, now they are able to understand what you're trying to gain from them. And with that, the learning process is going to be much easier. With that, you also need to create a clear agenda for every meeting. You cannot just meet somebody in a hotel and there was no agenda for that day. At least when you're organizing meetings, let them know that this week, what are we doing? What assignments am I supposed to accomplish before we meet next time? What milestones do you want me to have moved by this and that time? That way, you need to have an agenda. Whenever you're meeting, it's not just like any other social kind of meeting. It is a deliberate, it is a focus kind of a meeting. The other thing is that you need to keep your communication lines connected and open with your mentor. You have to, a mentor cannot be a stranger to you. It must be a person you're able to talk to every now and then. Remember, communication is the glue that keeps people together. Once the communication lines are broken, then the mentorship program is also broken. So it must be a person that you're able to talk to every now and then. They must be available for you, and you must be available for that kind of communication. As a mentee, you must also be ready to leave your comfort zone. As if you really get a serious mentor, you can be sure they are going to press you and push you sometimes beyond your limits. We normally say, know your limits and then break them. So a mentor will always be a person who is pushing you beyond what you have always considered to be your limits. It's like teaching a chicken how to fly. You have been on the ground and this person is telling you now you have to take on your wings, you have to fly. So you must be willing to leave your comfort zone. And this is where a majority of people fall out in mentorship. If you go to people who are coaching, maybe in football, you're going to see that they press themselves beyond their limits. When you look at people who are training for these races and so on, they will tell you that they have to go beyond the comfort zone. In any area in life, you must be willing to be stretched. Elastic limits must be tested, and that is the way to grow. You cannot grow in your comfort zone. And maybe finally, I would say, as a mentee, if you're going to succeed, you also have to keep a journal. You must note down. When lessons are taken, they are always good. It's always good to write them down. We normally say that small pencil is better than the best mind. If you jot something down today, even 10 years to come, you can even refer. 30 years to come, you can refer. So you must keep a journal as a good mentee. Yeah, those are just some of the best practices for the mentees.
Wow. As a mentee, I'm so excited to hear that as a mentee, I still have an assignment for me to do. As a mentor, I have an assignment for me to do. Let me ask, is there an age that one can stop mentoring or being a mentee? Is there an age?
Now, now, uh, learning is a lifelong process,
Mhm.
and we never stop learning. In fact, we say the moment you stop learning, so only those who want to die are stopping learning. So learning is a lifelong process. And if you look at some of the most successful business people in the world, if you look at people like KFC and so on, you're going to see somebody starts businesses in their late 60s and they became forces to reckon with in the world. So I wouldn't say there is a time when you stop learning. If you want to learn a skill, no matter your age, you can get a mentor and learn it. Yes, you might want to learn a music instrument. I don't think there's an age when you cannot play one. You just need somebody to train you in that skill and you learn it. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much. Let me ask, at your own capacity, do you have a preferred, age group that you mentor, or do you have an engagement with?
I would say most of my mentorship I've been doing to young people between the ages of 15 and 25. Those are my people. But I would say that I've also been doing a lot for parents. I've been doing a lot of mentorship for parents, especially dealing with challenges in the 21st century. The generations are changing, the way the world views are changing, and so on. And so that's an area that I'm highly interested in. So I would say those are mainly my clients, and I've been dealing with those ones.
Wow. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Mr. Kigodo. First learners, we have a coach now, and especially for those ages, and he's willing to take you through and mentor you through life. You don't have to hustle and struggle alone. You have help is on your way, and he's right here. Mr. Kigodo, maybe you can tell us what are your contacts and how we can even get your book, how first learners can get your book so that they are able
Mhm.
now to get back to you.
Maybe I would mention this in a few minutes because I think it is very important.
Yes.
Maybe there's one question that I feel we should answer. Why does somebody need a mentor?
Yes.
I don't know whether you have a few minutes and maybe I would comment on this.
Yes. Go
Um,
ahead. You.
why does somebody need a mentor? Number one, mentors support your growth. Sometimes we feel like we have stagnated in life. And once you join up with a person who is more experienced in a certain area, they help to stimulate that growth, and therefore you're able to move from one level to another.
Mhm.
Mentors also serve as a source of knowledge. This person has been gathering a wealth of knowledge over the years. They have been experiencing, they know what works, they know what does not work, and therefore they make it very easy for you because you don't need to do a lot of research. These people are giving you a template to build on. They are telling you, That one we have tested, it doesn't work. Just try this way. Number three, they help you to set goals for yourselves. A mentor will tell you whatever you are targeting is too low. Can you try something bigger? And you see now, they help you to expand your capacity. So that's very important. Mentors also help to maintain accountability. Sometimes when we do our things without mentors, nobody is questioning your actions. Nobody is trying to, like audit. Are you making any achievements? Are you making any progress? Imagine you want to write a book. You can be telling yourself, I'm going to write a chapter this week, but you don't write. But when you have a mentor, they will call you at the end of the week and they'll ask you, did you write that chapter? Did you make any progress? If you have not made any progress, then they'll tell you are not serious. So you see, they help you to grow. And there was a study which was done. It's called the Hawthorne Studies. It is something to do with human resource management. And they say that people do more when they realize that somebody is observing their progress than when they are not being watched. Putting it in my own words, I would say this, that generally human beings will do what is being inspected and not what is expected. So once you know somebody is inspecting your work, somebody is checking on you, you tend to work better, faster, and more. Mentors also offer encouragement. Sometimes you are engaging in a task, you are feeling like you're giving up, you're trying that project, and you're feeling like, oh no, this is too much. That is where a mentor comes in and tells you, no, you don't have to give up. Just put some more effort, rest for 2 days, but take it up again. See? So in that way, they become a source of encouragement. Mentors also help you to make connections. There are people that you never get to unless you're connected by other people. People work as bridges to other people. Your network is very important. So there could be people in the industry that you want to reach to, but you have no way of getting there. A mentor can be a source of that connection. And a mentor also becomes like a trusted friend. When you want to try out new ideas, you whisper to them, this is what I want to do. And then they will tell you, yeah, they will help you to work on your thoughts. They are willing to listen to you and maybe advise you. They become like a friend to you, a person that you can go to when there's some behaviors we struggle with and you're wondering, whom do I talk to? That is where you need a mentor. They become like that friend. And maybe just to end it there, they also provide, they are very constructive feedback. Sometimes when we work with our friends, they really give us, they really give us what I would call a true feedback because they don't want you to feel bad. But sometimes a mentor will tell you, no, the direction you're taking, you are missing it. They'll give you candid and kind of feedback. So it's very important to have a mentor.
Wow.
And maybe even more important, they are a free resource. You see, most of the, if you go to the industry, most of the information that you get, you have to pay for it. But when you work with a mentor, you get that information free of charge. They are training you to do things that you would have paid for to learn. So they become a free resource. So it's very important to have a mentor in any area of life. Yes.
Wow, that's so like eye-opening. Like I could hear growth, growth in every area. So I think it's never enough to have mentors. And by the way, can one have more than one mentor?
It is possible. It is possible, depending on your interest. But remember, you don't need to spread your energy so thinly because at the end of the day, you'll not achieve much. I was talking to some guys and I was telling them, the sun is very hot. It's about 6,000 degrees Celsius, but we get out to bask in the sun. Why aren't we getting scorched by the sun at 6,000 degrees? Because the sun spreads its energies so thinly. Some energies to Mercury, some energies to Venus, some energies to the Earth. So the impact cannot be felt. But if the sun was to concentrate its energies at a point, then the impact would be so huge. So a lion in the mara can hunt, but only one wildebeest at a time. It can't hunt there are million together. So even as we think about one or two mentors, it's always good to remember focus is a key in any success.
Wow. Focus, follow one course until you succeed. That's what you've taught us.
Yes.
I think that would be my take home today. Mr.
Okay.
Kigodo, maybe you can mention maybe your contacts and how we can get your book. I see time is not so much
Okay.
on our side.
So you can reach me via email, kigothomaina@gmail.com. You can also reach me through my Facebook page, Kigothomaina. My phone number is 0725 905 235. 0725 905 235. You can order for your book there. It will be delivered to you.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Yeah, we also available for capacity building, staff trainings, leadership trainings, all manner of life coaching. We are available capacity and excellence center. We are located at Thika, and we are open to partner with all Kenyans and beyond.
Wow. It's indeed very humbling to have been able to host you. I feel like I don't know that to be a mentor or a mentee at this point, but I know first learners, there are those ones who are really looking forward. How can I be
Yes.
mentor to be better? How can I be mentor so that I get to just experience, the direction of my dream without missing the point. It will be such an honor, Mr. Kigoda, to be able to host you this evening. Maybe your parting word.
My parting shot will be for every egg to hatch, a mature hen must sit on it. For
Must?
every dream to, a mature hen must
Mhm.
sit on it
Mhm.
for 21 days.
Mhm.
Likewise, for your potential to be realized, you need somebody who has gone before you to help incubate that potential.
Mhm.
Yes.
But you are saying something else.
That will be my parting shot.
Wow. First
Yes.
learners. An egg will not hatch without being laid on. So choose your mentors carefully and you grow and go far. Thank you
Yes.
so much, even for your time. We really appreciate.
Welcome.
God bless you. First learners, let's keep watching. We'll keep bringing many more guests. And for our guest today is willing to host you. And we're going to host him again and host you as him being a mentor. So check him out. Thank you so much.